Hey guys, so I'm going to be talking about Princess Mononoke and Valley of the Wind and how it kind of parallels relevant themes we spoke about or learned about in the lecture videos concerning um, Miyazaki's. To start off with the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Miyazaki's themes kind of prevalent is this relationship or oneness with nature and humans. We see in the Valley of the Winds this toxic forest kind of caused after that 7 day of fire, and we see how the people of the village kind of try to overtake or battle this toxic forest. Um, we see this sense of pacifism prevalent in the film too, with Nausicaa first given this animal who bites her, and she tries to calm the animal down instead of reacting with anger. Um, we're also going back to that relationship with nature and humans. We later find that Nausicaa trying to find a kind of a cure for her father. She figures out that if the soil is clean or the water is clean, that under I guess this toxic land, that it is able, it's acquirable to actually grow plants or non-toxic plants. Um, okay, so back to this pacifism. Back to we see that the bug hurts her. She decides to kind of calm it down instead of react with anger. What else? Also, when we see these two groups kind of going battling each other, she attempts to kind of calm the two groups down. Um, and the I guess this kind of correlates to the nature and the ecology of Redville in the film, with the hero or the king and its rebirth. We see at the end of the film, or towards the end of the film, we see um, Nausicaa fulfill the prophecy, or have this experience of death and rebirth. And once that has completed, we see the Om kind of fill the land with non-toxic um, plants, and that kind of refill or re-purify the land. Another theme relevant in both films, we see feminism. Nausicaa seen to go about this journey on her own, is very determined, kind of a heroine, and the prophecy kind of said to be um, fulfilled by a man in a blue robe. And towards the film, we actually see that it's actually Nausicaa. Um, that's pretty much it for that. Oh yeah, and this question that we kind of see prevalent is that the like who is behind this kind of impurity of the land, and we kind of see that being towards leaning towards the humans as just in nature, like trying to survive as a way of, I guess, using the resources of the forest or of the land to kind of survive, or as human instinct. Then we go on to Princess Mononoke. Again, Miyazaki's theme of the oneness of nature and the humans. Um, but going back to this pantheism, that everything or the spirit is in everything, we can go even dissect the title Mononoke, which actually is a direct translation to spirit of a thing. We could then see this symbolism of the body of the boar itself actually not being like a normal boar, it's like a boar god. Um, okay, we can also go back to the nature and human as kind of this oneness. We see this forest god prevalent in the forest, said to bring back this sense of purity, or being responsible for bringing back this sense of purity once the forest god is killed. And that again goes back to the death and rebirth of the king, or the king and vegetation, how this forest god was killed, and then um, the purity was brought back to the land. Princess Mononoke is also raised by wolves. We see this again with this oneness, or yeah, this oneness with nature. She's brought up by wolves, and it kind of plays a huge role as we see her kind of be more of an aggressive character in the film. Um, but here we kind of would concentrate more on Ashitaka and how she tries to, or he tries to stop humans from killing the forest god, and this pacifist this idea of pacifism, and also the connection or relationship with nature. Um, I guess we could also dissect this film into a theme of feminism. Uh, we see San and her mother who want to protect the forest. San's wolf mother, Moro, we see, is one of the actually most powerful gods in the forest, who was actually who raised San and her cubs to kind of defend themselves and teach them like how to defend themselves and kind of protect what they believe in. And in this case, they believe in protecting the forest and protecting nature, and that's kind of what they battle towards. Um, and then lastly, we kind of see this. We learned this in the notes. This, I guess, the characteristics of what actually makes a victim. And we see Ashitaka was seen as this foreigner of the village, and the village didn't really see him as that. I think they could refer to him as a stranger, and as well as I guess we could use the scar, the mark on his arm as being this having this sense of being disabled or disarmed. Um, that's pretty much it. Thanks for your time, guys.